So today we're diving into the power of the mantra or the belief, I have more than enough time to do everything that I want or need to do. Using this simple shift has helped me to ease anxiety, release pressure to be perfect or always be on and go, and to feel more present, even when my to-do list is full. I will walk you through how this belief, this mindset shift works, why it matters, and some gentle practices that you can use to anchor into it and try it for yourself. And at the end of the episode, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to end off with a short guided meditation to help you reconnect with that inner calm and trust that you have more than enough time to do everything that you want and need to do. So let's take the pressure off and reclaim our time together. Welcome to Ebbs and Flows with Erin. In this show, we're getting real about navigating the ups and downs of life together. I'm your host, Erin, and we're ditching the pressure to have it all figured out along the way because honestly, nobody does. We'll explore all things healing, growing, creating, and connecting. And if you deal with anxiety, depression, being a highly sensitive person, or just feeling overwhelmed by life sometimes, I see you and this show is for you. My intention with these conversations is simple: to leave you feeling empowered, validated, and most importantly, reminded that you are never alone, no matter where you're at on your own journey. Learning that we all have the power to heal genuinely changed my life. And the best part, healing does not have to be complicated. The smallest changes really can make the biggest impact, and it can be joyful, fulfilling, and something that we do together. So join me in getting real about what it means to heal. Thank you for being here, and now let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to Ebbs and Flows with Erin, or welcome back to Ebbs and Flows with Erin. Whether you are listening or watching over on YouTube today, I am so grateful to have you here with me as always. In today's episode, I'm sharing a mindset shift that has truly changed the way I move through my days and the way that I experience my days, especially as someone who is prone to feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or just feeling behind. Like there's never enough time to get done everything that I want or need to get done. So I think what we need to talk about to start off this episode is the importance of how we speak to ourselves, our words and our language that we use towards ourselves and throughout our day does matter. It's been proven. It impacts the state that our nervous system is in, which impacts how we move through our day every single day. And when it comes to our relationship with time and stressing out about time and the pressure of feeling like we never have enough time to do what we need to do, or feeling like we never have time to slow down because we have so much to do, the way that we speak about time and our relationship to it is just like anything else, where if we're constantly telling ourselves that we don't have enough time, or we need to rush, we need to hurry, stressing out about all the things that we have to do, whether or not it's true, you're already setting yourself up for failure to feel stressed and overwhelmed and anxious and tense and like you're behind, because that is what you're setting yourself up for. You've already decided that that is your truth and that's what you're going to experience throughout this day. And what we're talking about today has been very valuable to me in my own life. I am someone who I am prone to feeling like I don't have enough time, feeling rushed and feeling overwhelmed, and that leads to anxiety and stress and tension. That is how I live my life for the majority of my life. And it's also a very valid and real struggle to experience stress and anxiety around time, especially in today's world that is very productivity obsessed. But I have experienced the benefit and the difference in the way that I move through my day, the way that I feel, and the way that I move through it from making this mindset shift around time and intentionally reminding yourself of it throughout your day. So if you're someone that often feels overwhelmed or anxious, stressed or tense, or just feel like you're always behind, I promise this is going to be something beneficial for you to learn about today. As we talk about often on this podcast, everything is energy. And the energy of telling ourselves, I don't have enough time, creates urgency, stress, guilt, and scatters your energy. You're moving from a lack, scarcity, fear-based mindset, which immediately puts your nervous system into either fight, flight, or freeze. So like I said earlier, you're already kind of setting yourself up for failure moving through your day because you've convinced yourself and your body and your mind already that you don't have enough time. And this can actually make us less productive and less focused because it puts us in that state of fight, flight, or freeze. So completing any tasks or crossing anything off your list, making any progress in your day already feels overwhelming, and you'll probably take longer to take any action. You will probably procrastinate more because you're spending your time and your energy worrying about the time that you don't have, which sounds counterintuitive because you would think that worrying about not having enough time is you wanting to have more time and create more time. But what it's actually doing is making you less productive and less focused, because I don't want to say that you're manifesting not having enough time. That word is overused. But you have already decided that you don't have enough time when these are the thoughts and the energy that you're moving in, the energy that you're operating from is already rooted in that fear, lack mindset, which is even deeper, usually rooted in fear of falling behind or fear of not being good enough, not doing well enough, not doing enough where you feel like you're enough, or you feel like you're worthy, or you feel like you're accomplished. So on the surface, it might look or feel like you have time management issues, but it's often much more deep rooted than that, and it's stemming from fear, whatever that fear might be, whether it's fear of letting yourself down, letting others down, not being good enough, falling behind, not doing enough, not doing it right, not being perfect, whatever it might be. It's usually based in fear. I also want to touch on the fact that if you're someone who is neurodivergent, there's something called executive dysfunction. And this is a very real thing where time management can be a real struggle. And that functional freeze state is something you might be very familiar with. And I'm not saying that this mindset shift is a cure-all for anything. It is empowering you, and it is shifting you out of counting yourself out before you've even began. I remember when I first learned about executive dysfunction in ADHD, I felt like I had been seen, and my life made so much sense because I really related to it. But working on my relationship and my mindset around time in general has been something that has had a positive impact on my struggle with that. So we want to reframe the narrative around I don't have enough time or there's not enough time, and shift to simply I have enough time. Telling yourself throughout your day, I have enough time, sounds maybe silly and so simple, but it is legitimately soothing your nervous system. It is grounding you. It is sending signals of safety, that it is safe to relax and feel at ease in your nervous system and move through your day in a more flexible, flowy state. It invites presence, because when we're operating out of I don't have enough time or there's not enough time, we are often in our heads with scattered thoughts, ruminating thoughts. We're so far in the future or the past, worrying about everything we haven't gotten done or that we need to get done, and it takes us out of the present moment. And when we're in the present moment, we are not worrying about all the things that we need to get done. And of course, you want to do things to set yourself up for success when it comes to managing your time. You want to set up a framework around that, know yourself, and know what tools or habits work for you to set yourself up for success when it comes to time, so that you don't have to be moving through your day constantly worrying about or thinking about everything you need to get done and if there's going to be enough time to get it done. And even if you don't feel like it might be true, telling yourself I have enough time, just pausing and saying I have enough time, immediately sends a signal to your body and your mind, your nervous system, to calm. You can also add on to the mantra, I have more than enough time to get everything done that matters, because that allows you to slow down, but then ask yourself, what is my priority to get done today? And then you can be more intentional with what you actually need to get done today, because that's another thing when we're telling ourselves, I don't have enough time to get everything done. Sometimes the tasks that we create for ourselves, that we tell ourselves we have to get done in a day, when you really stop and look at them and identify your priorities, there's likely things on that task list that you are stressing yourself out about, telling yourself that you have to get done, that when you really look at it, it can wait. And if it doesn't get done today, no one is going to get hurt. Nothing is going to go wrong. It's going to be okay. And I am so guilty of that. I am that person who is like, well, I have to do this and this and this and this. It has to get done today. And then I stop myself in recent years before I just lived like that. And I can still get caught up in that. I mean, I'm not by any means perfect at this stuff. But often now, when I'm trying to be more intentional and shift myself to, I have enough time, I can identify, okay, it's not the end of the world if I don't get this done today. And this could probably be for a whole other episode, but a lot of that too, telling ourselves that we absolutely have to get all these things done today, is putting pressure on ourselves to be perfect, and it's stemming from perfectionism, people pleasing, which again is more deeply rooted than having time management issues. So the more that you become aware of what the root of perfectionism is, which we have a whole episode on, and why it's shame and guilt, and why self-compassion is the answer. Once you become more aware of that, releasing guilt and shame, this all does become more easy, more natural in my experience. Again, as someone who lived as a chronically overwhelmed, anxious person for the majority of my life. Like I always say, I'm only sharing things here on this podcast that I have experienced in working and actually tangibly improving and benefiting my life and changing the way I experience my life and my overall health and wellness. Okay, so let's get into some simple practices you can use to cultivate a healthier relationship with time outside of using the mantra, I have enough time throughout your day. Number one, I would say doing a morning check-in. And this can be quick and simple. You can check in with yourself while you're brushing your teeth in your mind. You can check in with yourself while you're driving to work, or you can sit down with your journal in the morning. Whatever it looks like, it doesn't need to be a lengthy routine that you have to go really deep into every morning, but asking yourself, how do I want to feel today? And what's my intention for today? What is on my top priority list today? For myself, it took me so long to figure out that I am someone who operates best when I wake up in the morning and I write out a bullet point list of tasks for the day or things I want to get done in the day. And another thing that I've found to help my time management or my relationship with time is adding in actually everything you are doing that day. Because I can't remember where I was listening to this or reading this, but someone had made the point of talking about how often we are actually doing a lot more than we're giving ourselves credit for each day, but we're only used to writing down like the larger, bigger tasks when we're making our to-do lists. And then we feel overwhelmed and we wonder why we feel so overwhelmed. When in reality, we actually did a lot more than we are pointing out to ourselves. So I try to create this list every morning for the day and even put the simplest, seemingly like transitional tasks in there. Like I will put driving to work or doing my laundry, like the more mundane tasks that you probably could do on autopilot and know that you need to do so you're not writing them out on your task list. I include those now so that when I look at my list every morning, I'm not moving through my day wondering why I'm feeling overwhelmed or I'm rushing or running out of time because I didn't include all these other things that take up time to do. So then when I am done writing out my list of what I'm doing for the day, I will end with an intention. Sometimes it is straight up, I have more than enough time to get everything I want and need to get done today. Or I trust that I will move through my day in alignment with my highest good. Or I trust that I will experience this day with flow and ease, anything. But setting an intention for the day is just a good way to get you grounded and present in that day, the energy of that day, and giving yourself an idea of expectations for yourself for that day. Because I know I was someone who, when I was not making lists or writing out my intentions, I was going into every day feeling so scattered. And then several times throughout the day, that spikes your cortisol, literally, and stresses you out, makes you overwhelmed, anxious, tense, and stressed because you're constantly thinking to yourself, wait, what do I have to do next? Wait, how much time is this going to take? Wait, should I do this first? Should I do this first? What do I need to do? Blah, 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 blah. I hope that makes sense. I kind of feel like I'm rambling today. And I hope this is all making sense. Another little tip or practice that you can use is shifting from scarcity-based productivity to trust-based productivity. And you might hear that and think, what does that even mean? Which is very fair. But a lot of the time, if we really ask ourselves what is pushing us to be productive and to feel like we have to get all these things done or do all this stuff in this certain time span, like I mentioned earlier, it's rooted in a lack, scarcity, fear-based mindset, which is usually subconsciously driven. We aren't even consciously aware that that's where it's coming from. So feeling like we're constantly being productive can be a coping mechanism for wanting to feel accepted or successful or worthy, whether to yourself or others. But if you can become aware of that, and if that is your pattern and you can identify that, awareness, like we always say, is the key. Giving yourself compassion for that, but then becoming intentional about shifting into trust-based productivity, where you are doing things and completing tasks and creating your to-do list out of a place of trust that everything that needs to get done will get done, and that everything is happening in divine timing, in the timing that is aligned with your highest good and the highest good of all involved, and everything's happening for a reason and happening in the timing that it's happening in for a reason, and trusting yourself that you have the capacity to do everything that you need to do. And also, this could be a whole other episode, but that it is productive to rest. Resting is productive, it is necessary, it's healthy, and without creating time in our to-do lists and our schedule for rest, we are actually setting ourselves back to be less productive, because you will burn out, you'll get sick, you'll get run down, and then your body or mind forces you to slow down and allow yourself to heal and rest. So journaling is always a helpful practice when it comes to any mindset work or mindset shifts. So you definitely can't go wrong journaling on this topic of your relationship to rest and what that looks like, what you want it to look like, how you can get there. But to make it simple, one journal prompt that I would suggest to use is, what would my day look like and how would I feel if I believed I had enough time? Not if I had enough time, but if I believed I had enough time, and just see what comes up. And then ask yourself, how can I make that my reality? Okay, to end the episode, we're going to do things a little bit differently. First, I am going to leave you with a few affirmations, but then I'm going to guide you through a very short guided meditation that is designed to calm your nervous system, bring you into presence, and affirm the belief that you have enough time for what truly matters. So first, a few affirmations. Number 1, I move at the pace of trust. I have enough time for what truly matters. I don't need to rush to prove my worth. Before we get into this meditation, because that's how I'm going to end this episode, I just want to remind you, it is safe to slow down, even if it doesn't feel like it, because you are so used to always being on, always being productive, always feeling pressure to do more and more and more, and feeling behind and overwhelmed. When you start to slow down, it can feel unsafe. It can make you feel uncomfortable. And that is normal, but it is safe to slow down. And the more that you practice it, the more you're sending signals to your nervous system that it's safe to do so, because you are not falling behind. You are doing the most productive thing by allowing yourself to slow down, to rest, and to flow through your days instead of stress through them. So try using this mantra of I have enough time throughout your day for one day, and notice what shifts. And I would love to hear any feedback if you do give it a try and hear about your experience. But now we are going to get into the guided meditation, and I hope that you enjoy, and I will talk to you next week. Let's take a moment to slow down together. Wherever you are, whether you're sitting, lying down, or on the go, see if you can soften just a little bit. Start by taking a deep breath in through your nose and slow breath out through your mouth. Again, breathe in through your nose and breathe out. Feel your body gently settle into this moment. You are here, and that is enough. Begin to notice the rhythm of your natural breath. Let it guide you back to yourself. Let it remind you you are safe, you are supported, you do not need to rush. Now quietly in your mind, repeat after me. I have enough time for everything that matters. I trust the pace of my life. I am not behind. Each moment holds exactly what I need. Let those words sink into your body, into your heart, into your nervous system. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to your breath. There's nowhere else you need to be right now. Again, repeat in your mind or softly out loud. I move through today with ease. I release the pressure to do it all. I have enough time. Let's close this moment with one more deep breath together, inhaling through your nose fully. And exhale completely through your mouth. Gently bring your awareness back to your body, back to the space around you. Maybe wiggle your fingers or roll your shoulders. And when you're ready, open your eyes if they were closed. And trust that the time you have is enough and that you are enough. Namaste.